Hey everybody, welcome back to the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank y'all so much for being here. As always, y'all make this channel a success, and you've come to the right place for fragrance news, fragrance reviews, and so much more. So thank y'all so much for being here today. It's a pleasure to have you. So let's jump into this review. Now before I start, this is another fragrance by an indie house, an independent brand, very small brand. Perhaps the perfumer makes their fragrances inside their own house. So it's very good to explore these houses because a lot of times they're very creative, and sometimes the quality can be really good for the price where they don't have to, pay for a brick and mortar store on your street, and they don't have to pay for advertising. So sometimes the quality can be great, sometimes not so great. But today we're going to be talking about Alkemia's The Traveler and the Moon. Now just think about that name. You could make a poem about that. Very interesting name. So let's talk about how the fragrance smells. Then we're going to talk about the projection longevity, the complement factor, and then the price, as always. So what you get with this fragrance, and again, just think of that name, The Traveler and the Moon. This fragrance is overall kind of smells like a sandalwood fragrance, but the accord seems to be blended with a little bit of vetiver. So this is a very clean, very vetiver, a very tame vetiver. Really nothing green here to speak of or very earthy. It's not that way at all. So it's a little bit smooth, almost a little bit creamy, perhaps a tiny bit on the dry side, and in the base especially, in the heart, or the middle, it just seems to be more of a slightly resinous feel. Perhaps there's the tiniest bit of tonka to make this fragrance a little bit more sweet, a little bit more romantic. And off the top, you get almost an iris-like feel, a very smooth floral. Perhaps it's a type of jasmine used in a very interesting way. So this fragrance is composed very well. I almost get the feel like there's a little bit of papyrus in this, so like a little bit of a brown or a tan kind of linen accord. But overall, it's very smooth and very romantic, and that's the kind of fragrance you get here. A fragrance that's for those kinds of situations. So, what kind of projection and longevity do we get? Guys and gals, I have to say it. This fragrance does not perform or very well, but perhaps that's what was intended. I get mostly a skin scent. The only way somebody's going to smell you is if they're really close to you, perhaps in a romantic situation. And overall, that's not a terrible thing. There's different fragrances for different occasions. La Nuit de l'Homme is a beloved fragrance, but it doesn't perform very well either. So just take that with a grain of salt. Take that into account. For me, this fragrance performs 4, maybe 5 hours. It becomes more of a musky scent. Perhaps it's a sleeper because I can't smell it too well, but I feel like it would enhance your natural smell, almost become one of those kinds of skin scents, and it would do that very well as it dries down. So this fragrance is really good overall. Before we get to the compliment factor, this fragrance resembles a beloved fragrance, a great fragrance in the fragrance community, and we do miss it a lot. It's Midnight in Paris by Van Cleef and Arpels. Now it has similarities in composition and kind of with the smell. This isn't a cologne. This isn't going to smell exactly like it. But if you get your hands on a sample, you might see sense what I'm smelling here in the composition and how it's going to come off. A very light and charming, scent, very kind of romantic and kind of effortless and kind of timeless. So, but again, the performance is even less with this fragrance. And some people thought Midnight in Paris didn't perform well enough. So I digress, but let's talk about the compliment factor. Whenever I wore this, I didn't wear this in a situation where I would get noticed, but it did smell really good to me. I could, tell what I was wearing. It was a kind of a confidence booster, but I felt like this fragrance would be great for spring and summer nights, perhaps fall days. I felt like it would be great for like a picnic, a day out. Perhaps you're with your family, a family reunion. Perhaps you're just having a casual time with good friends. This fragrance makes me think of that kind of mood, kind of somber but not sad, just kind of calm, happy. And overall, I thought it was a fantastic fragrance. I really do enjoy this fragrance, and the price is not bad. I was wrong on some of my other reviews. The price is about $30 for about 30 mils, or perhaps 35 for their normal line. So that in comparison to a normal size bottle, these are about 105 if you were to get, 3 bottles for, 100 mils. But again, a lot of us who love fragrances don't need so much, and you might want to travel with it. So 30 mils is a good size, and it is a good price overall. So this fragrance, if I had to give it a rating, 1 to 10, perhaps 0 out of 10. I don't like to do those once again because this is so subjective with personal opinions. I feel like I would have to give this fragrance a 7 out of 10, even though I really do like its artistic, vision. I really do. I think it's named very well. I do like the scent profile that they created. And Alkemia, kudos to you. You did a great job. I just think the performance could be a little bit more. And overall, it is a really good fragrance, but I feel like Midnight in Paris is going to be, still sought after. Perhaps this fragrance could become an 8 out of 10 as Midnight in Paris, completely dries up or becomes far too expensive for most people to ever want to get near it. But I do have a niche fragrance that perhaps I'll do another review of called Moon Milk by Storen Skuggen, which is much more of a sandalwood heavy fragrance and just does the job so beautifully. I don't know if anything like this, could beat that fragrance. But for the price, this is definitely recommended. If you love Midnight in Paris or ever wanted to get out there and try it, you might want to just go to Alkemia and fork out the $30, unless you find a really good steal on Midnight in Paris. So overall, it still is kind of a unique composition. It overall does a good job for, kind of tame romantic situations or, casual, lighthearted and fun situations. It's just a very nice scent. Another one, if has some comparisons to, is Remarkable People. And that fragrance is fantastic too. So get out there and try this. If you haven't tried this before, let me know how this fragrance sounds. Let me know if you've smelled this before. I would love to know your thoughts on this fragrance. But I do think that this fragrance has very few reviews, and I just love being able to get reviews out there of fragrances nobody's heard of before. So this has been, the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me know if y'all want links below to, where you can buy these fragrances. I want to be honest with y'all if I ever do provide links, because I would get a small cut, but y'all, of course, would save money if I did that. I want to be very transparent, so I would also love your thoughts on that, in the section below. So thank y'all so much for being here. If you've stuck around to the end, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, as always. And again, wear what you love, and always do that. Let me know what your favorite romantic situation fragrance is. A romantic fragrance that perhaps is a little bit more laid back. Perhaps, when you just want a casual evening, nothing, too heated, and nothing of the moment kind of, not that kind of fragrance. So let me know. And thank y'all for being here as always. This has been the Centaur Fragrance channel, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.